Do you remember what our plan was for when we retired?
Well, I know you were going to drive the trams.
Prior to the injury, do you remember was my very favorite thing?
Riding the tram.
What can I no longer do because of my back injury?
You can no longer ride the tram.
I can no longer ride the tram. I dug around in my phone, and look what I found. Here we are riding the tram the last time we were able to do it. And so after that, we've had to just get creative, find a new way to get to where we wanted to go, to see what we wanted to see, and do what we wanted to do.
There are 3 primary methods to get to Magic Kingdom. The first is to drive, but you may have to walk up to half a mile. Next, you can take a bus from a resort if you're staying on property. Or if you're staying along a Skyliner resort, you can take the Skyliner into EPCOT and then cross EPCOT and take the monorail to the Ticket and Transportation Center. What that will require, though, is that you transport yourself through the EPCOT park to get to the front, as the Skyliner is located at the rear of EPCOT. This means navigating the stores, going and avoiding the people, and just walking through the crowds, and generally just taking some time to get from one side of EPCOT to the other. It's not quick, but it is at least scenic. And from there, you can take the monorail to the Ticket and Transportation Center. Now, the EPCOT monorail is actually pretty nice. It has a nice wide ramp. It's easy for multiple people to walk up. Provides plenty of room for the scooters as well. It's very, very well designed. In addition, we also have this handicap elevator that is also available, but it doesn't always work. The question is, though, why do we go through all this trouble to use the EPCOT monorail?
I guess when I say that I can't ride the tram, I can, but with the way that you have to get into the tram and with the constant pain that I live in with my back, the last couple of times that I tried it, it just didn't feel very good. And then I felt like somebody had kicked me afterwards. And then when we got the scooter, I think that's when we really realized that we would not be able to take the scooter on the tram because, well, it's 60 pounds. So then you would be deadlifting that scooter up into those cabins, and you can't always predict which cabin you will be able to get to sit in. So we would need one of the ones that was like the double cabin with 2 seats. And, you can't always rely on the kindness of strangers for them to let you be able to get in. And if there's other people that have the same need or have strollers, there's only, so much space. So we have just decided that when we are renting a scooter or taking my own, that this is just going to have to be, a different path that we take to get to the Magic Kingdom.
That is, if they will even let you bring a foldable scooter on the tram.
We haven't even tried it.
We haven't even tried. The employees may not even let us.
I'm sure that in the times that the park is not very crowded, maybe we could try it, but then it would be kind of aggravating to go through all of that process to get to the parking lot and then say, sorry, you can't put this on there. So it's not something that we've even wanted to try. Now, if we were going to go to the park when we knew that the chances of them having scooters there to rent, we could ride the tram possibly, depending on where my pain level was. But again, like I've said before, the scooters are $80. Or at least they were the last time we rented one, and there's no guarantee that they have them. So if that's something that you know that you need because of injury, inability to walk, whatever it is, then you can't always rely on having that available.
Disney doesn't allow reservations of scooters, therefore they may not have any when you need them.
And I really wish, with as many things as you can reserve at Disney now, I really wish that you could reserve a scooter or a wheelchair, you reserve it for a specific day and time, and if you don't show up, then it's null and void and it goes to the next person. So I really would like to see them do that to make accessibility easier for people.
We can hope.
We can hope.
What you can see here, though, is how easy it is to get onto the monorail. They literally just have you roll up a little ramp. Sometimes it's forward, sometimes it's backwards, depending on the station. But it is literally just roll up the ramp and you're on the monorail. Once you're on, they allow everyone else to board, and then you are off to the Ticket and Transportation Center. You can see here, it's a very scenic and enjoyable ride. It gives you a few minutes in your day to see something other than the parks. Just see the area of Florida that Disney is situated in. Once you arrive at the Ticket and Transportation Center, everyone is allowed to exit the monorail cars. They get out before you do. The staff lets everybody clear out, and then they bring a ramp so that you and your mobility scooter can exit. They do the same for wheelchairs also, but they do not provide this courtesy for items such as strollers. And let's just say that the cast members here do a bang-up job. They lift these, I don't know how heavy they are, but they lift these ramps seemingly every time a monorail comes in. Now for us, we are going to take the boat over to the Magic Kingdom, and we will show the accessibility of the ferry on another video. Today we're talking about the monorail. But let's just say that Disney is very accessible to everyone.
So here we are, and I can see the Magic Kingdom. I can see it, and I know that we are not even going in. And I feel like I'm cheating on Buzz Lightyear and the People Mover, and not going to take the riverboat trip again, because who knows when all of that is going to be taken out for future improvements. But we don't have a lot of time, and there's several things that we wanted to try to, I guess, cram into the little bit of time we have. So we're going to take this path, and this is a path that we have never taken, because around the corner and down the long path is something that we've been wanting to see. So today we're going to be on Magic Kingdom property essentially, but not even go inside the gates of the kingdom. And I'm feeling some kind of way about it, but I'm also glad to be able to be here, as always. And I'm excited to see what this path is like, because we've seen this walkway many times from the monorail, but we've never taken it. And so we've always been a little bit curious about it. And so today we're just going to prove that life rolls on and go down a different path.
Well, I don't need the candy or the sugar cane. You're the sweetest thing that I've ever seen. You could take the money and the diamond rings, 'cause I know without you they don't mean a thing. That's right. For all my life, just you and I. You're brighter than the stars from my window pane, warmer than the morning on a summer's day. The antidote to anything that's hurting me. Not a thing about you I would ever change, I know. Well, all my life, just you and I. And may the stars be light to guide you home tonight. I hope the one you find was a fool, hopeless little boy trying to break the rules. Now everything that I'll ever need is standing here in front of me. That's why, for all my life, just you and I. Well, I could watch you sleep, never dare to dream that you'd find your way into my life somehow. Well, I get lost inside of those fragile eyes, and I know your smile, it could save my life, so save it again. Ooh, ooh. Please save me again. Ooh, ooh. Please save me again.
So the purpose of our visit to the Grand Floridian was to see these culinary masterpieces that were done in the shape of various Easter eggs. They had a lot of different themes. I think there were 20 of them. And this is something that Disney does every year for various holidays. Right now, it was Easter eggs for Easter. In the fall, it'll be gingerbread houses for Christmas. And they have other displays throughout the year. But this is something that, because of our scooter, we were able to go see. We were able to take a path that we wouldn't normally be able to have taken. And we were able to see something that we would not have otherwise been able to see. And that's what our scooter gives us, is the freedom to do something that we would not be able to do otherwise. And that's what we hope that a scooter will help you do as well, is to get out and see things that you would not otherwise be able to see. Today, it was Easter eggs made out of fondant. Some other time, it'll be something else. But that's what you've got to do, is you've got to use what you can to get out and live your life. Because life's going to roll on. Whether you roll with it or not, that is completely up to you. But life is going to roll on.